Hi everyone, my name is Esther Kagoini and this is Trust the Process Talk. Today we are pleased to have a very talented artist called Josey. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Josey, how are you?
I'm good.
Nakuonanga tu kwa mtandao. Please tell us about yourself.
Okay. So thank you so much, Esther. My name is Joseph Joroge Maina. Ama kwa jina la kazi Josey or Josey Arts. Okay. Na kama unavyoona, I'm a fine artist. This is what I do. Thank you for coming so that we share 1, 2, 3 about my job as an artist. Yep.
Okay, so umetoka wapi? Ama huku ndiko kwenu, huku umelelewa huku, umezaliwa huku?
Mimi ni mzaliwa wa Murang'a County. I'm from Murang'a County, Kigumo sub-county, a village called Marumi. That is where I was born. I was brought up. Nilisomea nursery school huko, primary school nilisomea Marumi Primary. After Marumi Primary, I went to a school just across there, inaitwa Karega Secondary. And I discovered that I have a special interest in art right from when I was a very small boy. I think before hata ni join nursery school, I had realized that I love drawing so much. Nilikuwa naharibu vitabu, naharibu maukuta, nikichora-chora. So in primary school, I really practiced as a child. And then nikiwa high school at Karega, I continued with the same spirit. And I think high school diko sasa art iliniingia ndani zaidi. Because I used to draw my teachers on blackboard. Walimu wakifunza nikiboeka hivi na wachora kwa kitabu. I used to entertain my classmates a lot by doing very funny drawings and also cartoons.
What was the reception?
Let me say that there are those who really were getting so much excited, especially wakati wameona nimechora teacher fulani na ametokea vile yako. But at the same time, kwa upande wa walimu, some teachers felt like I was wasting a lot of time nikichora-chora. The thing was, I was supposed to use most of my time revising. But to me, when free, nilikuwa najipata tu na chora-chora. I actually used to borrow newspapers from our deputy principal. He's called Mr. Geshea. He's now a principal at Kagio Boys. Kila siku jioni lazima ningioba gazeti. And he was thinking that, Joseph is now a very good student. Anaoba gazeti kwenda kujifunza Kiingereza. But I was borrowing newspapers just to pluck out that cartoon page. That cartoon that was being done by Gado. Every single day. I had to make sure that I pluck that page. Alafu naenda nachora hiyo cartoon tena. Nyumbani. Or even at school when I'm free. So, naweza sema, there are those people who were getting so much entertained. Again, also there are people who are feeling like I'm wasting my time so much doing something that is not going to help my academics. So to my parents, they were just staring at me, shocked that I'm able to draw. I'm really glad to say that my parents supported me. My mom did not used to punish me when I spoiled maukuta na makaa na chalks. My dad used to buy me some drawing materials like drawing books and colors. So I can say that watu walikuwa wanaifurahia wale wengi.
Okay. What about after umemaliza high school, ukaenda college, university, ulienda kuendelea kusoma about drawing ama ulienda kupursue another course ama there's that course that your parents walikuwa nayo, walikuwa wanataka uende ufanye and you surprised them ukawapelekea art?
No, I finished high school in 2007. and I got a mini grade of B plane. Now, to shock you is that I didn't have a dream. Mimi nikiwa form 4 ungeniuliza, Jose unataka kuwa nani in future? Mimi singekuambia. But I used to feel I would want one day to draw like the cartoonists wenye nilikuwa naona wakichora kwa magazeti. So when we went to do our revision for university courses, mimi nilienda, sikuwa na idea huwa zinachaguliwa aje. I just found a course that really attracted me, Bachelor of Education Arts. Sikuwa najua ni walimu. Wakati niliona the word arts, nikajiambia hapa kuna kuchora maze. Hapa kuna kuchora. Na juu napenda kuchora, so I chose that course. And my first choice was a Bachelor of Education Arts, University of Nairobi. And then the other choices followed. Na nilitua hiyo first choice. Bachelor of Education Arts, University of Nairobi. But now, when I was almost getting admitted, is when I realized nimeitiwa ualimu. So I was a bit confused, but again, I remembered there are some teachers who were my role models nikiwa shule. Nikasema, after all, my teachers live good life, they are good, I admire them, so I don't mind becoming a teacher, becoming like them. So, shida ilikuwa sasa kuchagua which are the subjects that I want to pursue. My best subjects were biology and agriculture. Unfortunately, the campus, University of Nairobi hawakuwa wana offer biology and agriculture. So I decided to go for history and CRE. To me, I would say history and CRE were my easiest subjects in high school. So I felt history and CRE itakuwa mteremko campus. So nikasema, let me choose history and CRE. Nikuwe mwalimu wa history na CRE. Like one of my best teachers in high school was called Mrs. Mwangi. I really used to enjoy the way she's teaching. There was another teacher wa history alikuwa anaitwa Mrs. Maina. We used to call her Anne Wangari. There was also another teacher that I really used to admire called Fortunate Mwangi, because they were teaching history na wengine CRE. So nilikuwa nasema I would like to be like them. Naweza penda kuwa kama wao. So at this time, art imeniondoka kidogo. When I realized that hii ni walimu naenda kufanya, mambo ya art iliniondoka kiasi. Nikasema let me concentrate on the course that yenye nimeitiwa. In our society, during our times, society ilikuwa inataka tu kusikia ameitwa university. Unaona? So mambo ya ile course yenye nimeenda kufanya, it wasn't a big worry to my parents or to so many people. But lile jina university, Jorogeni the university, everyone would celebrate. So I took the chance, got admitted in 2009 at the University of Nairobi, Kikuyu campus, and new life started. So, first year, I didn't really draw a lot. Although I was still drawing as a hobby, sikuchora sana. Second year, art sasa tena ikaanza kuniingia tena deeper. And there is this drawing that I made. My favorite lecturer in campus was called Professor Oniango. That professor he really changed my way of thinking. He was a very good lecturer. And one day I decided, ebu nijaribu kumchora. Na nilimchora kwa wall ya hostel kwenye nilikuwa naishi. Nikachora picha kubwa yake. And all my friends who visited my room walikuwa wanaona hiyo picha, wanashtuka. Mimi na shida wanashtuliwa na nini? Because to me this is so normal. I'm just doing it to pass time. And a very close friend of mine told me, Jose, at that time walikuwa wananiita Njoro. Njoro, hapa uko na kipawa na you seem to be in the wrong place. Unajua hii ni kitu inaweza kupea do in future. So I started wondering, kuchora tu unasema kunaweza nilipa in what terms? So kidogo as people continued coming and seeing that drawing, I started receiving a lot of encouragements and challenges that try and make it your side hustle. Jaribu kitoka class unachora, jaribu kuuzia watu. So that was second year. That year I decided to try now my best to make this hustle at least give me something small. Nilianza kufanya calligraphy. Calligraphy, kuandika certificates. I decided to do posters as adverts. Nikazifix kwa notice boards all around Kikuyu campus. Na nilikuwa nimeandika vizuri hapo, if you need calligraphy, in campus you find yourself having a lot of certificates zenye hazina jina lako. Maybe umeattend workshop ama seminar, umepewa certificate na haina jina. So I decided to take that opportunity to advertise so that people can bring the certificates to me. I write the names. So I started earning. I was charging 5 bob per certificate. That was a lot of money. Then zikakuwa mingi, nikaanza kucharge 10 bob. In the process, I'm now practicing to draw people. I did another advert, pinned them on the notice boards. Do you want your portrait done? Do you want a portrait of your celebrity or your favorite footballer? Alafu nachora picha ya Ronaldo hapo. Alafu naandika namba yangu and I tell them come to room number 234. So I think that is how I started now advertising my job or my hobby, and I started now welcoming people to have artworks and then they pay me. So kidogo hiyo ni that year. Towards the end of that year, a friend of mine approaches me and ananiuliza, can you do backdrops? Mimi sikuwahi jua backdrops ni nini. Yes, sasa ndiye alinielezea, kaniambia backdrops ni zile picha zenye hupaintiwa zinawekwa nyuma ya stage during drama. Nikamwambia yes, I can do them, I can paint them. But please note that mimi before huyo rafiki akuje sikuwahi guza brush ama rangi mahali. But now I've told him I can do it. So he told me, let me connect you to my lecturer. We are having drama in a few weeks time. Atakuongelesha ili utuchoree. But at the time jamaa huyo alikuwa anaondoka, nilikimbia computer lab ku research about painting, how to paint. I remember I spent 2 full days from 8 to 4 for 2 full days on YouTube watching artists paint. Mimi sikuwahi jua rangi hununuliwa wapi. Rangi zenye nilikuwa najua zinanunuliwa ni za hardware tu za kupaka nyumba. Brushes sikuwa najua. Mimi brush nilikuwa najua ni brush ya viatu tu. So nikaanza kujiuliza zinapatikanaga wapi. I started googling, I did a lot of research. Facebook, I started following artists when you wanna paint. And after watching videos on YouTube for 2 days, I decided I'm going to take some little money that I had saved. Nikimbie bookshop ama hardware, niulize ni tumarangi tu gani mtu anaweza tumia kuchora backdrop. Nikaenda nikaambiwa bei za juu, nikashindwa kama nitaweza. So I decided to go to a bookshop. I bought some watercolors, very small tubes za watoto, and some few brushes. I started practicing. My first painting shocked people. People couldn't believe that it was just a small size. Couldn't believe that it's me who has done it. Now, unfortunately, sikupata ile job ya kuchora backdrops. But from that moment, I discovered paints and brushes. my interest now started shifting from pencil alone to painting. So I used to go to YouTube, I watch an artist doing a painting, and then in the evening tukitoka classes naenda najaribu kurecreate ile picha. Na those times hata hatukuwa na smartphones, so hata kupata picha yenye unaweza tumia kama reference ilikuanga shida. So I had to memorize what I watched on YouTube, alafu naenda naichora. So I started painting. I will show you some of my earliest paintings, and people started liking my work. Now, my business expanded a little bit when people discovered that I know how to paint. At Kikuyu campus, there is a course called ECE, Early Childhood Education. And the students, my fellow students who did that course, they had a lot of projects zenye zilikuwa zinahitaji marangi. Walikuwa wanahitaji kufanya a lot of coloring and all that. So my friends started telling each other, there is a guy in third year rooms so and so na anafanyaga painting. So nilikuwa naletewa vitu mingi sana like skipping ropes, dolls, madoli nilikuwa napewa. I do coloring. I charge them 20 bob, 30 bob, 100 bob. And that's what I did up to 4th year. I also tried to perfect pencil drawing portraits. Nilikuwa nachora mtu na mulipisha 50 bob. There are several clients. I remember my friend Sarah, even my wife by the way, tukiwa kampo. Hatukuwa tunajua tutaishi pamoja, lakini there is a drawing I did for her. Na akanilipa 100. So hiyo picha naionaga nakumbuka where I've come from. So tuko 4th year. I'm about to graduate, but I have identified that I have another potential. Apart from teaching, niko na kipawa cha uchoraji. So I had decided that before graduating, I decided that even if I'll be a teacher, I will make art a side hustle. I prayed to God so much to help me get a job to teach around Nairobi, kwa sababu najua mashinani tena kupata market ya art is a challenge. Unfortunately or fortunately, sikupata job Nairobi. I got my first teaching job in Nyeri, a school called South Teto Girls. South Teto Girls is in Mukoroine. I started teaching history and CRE there as a BOM teacher. And I used to feel as if my dream ya kuwa mwalimu mchoraji itadidimia kwa sababu nimeenda mashinani sana. But it was a blessing in disguise. When I went there, I met very good colleagues who again gave me a lot of encouragement when they discovered that I'm an artist also. So hustle nikaanza kuichapa tena, nikachora walimu, my fellow teachers, nikawachorea picha za kuhang kwa nyumba. And then I thought, nikiwa high school, sikuwa na anyone who could guide me or to mentor me. I discovered there are a lot of girls wenye wako shule and they are talented in art. Idea ikanikujia, I start an art club. And that was another hit for me. Nilikuwa na wanafunzi karibu 60. And those are just the shortlisted ones. Because when I told them that I want to start the club, I received over 300 applications. Those who wanted to join. So I had to filter them. I remained with 60 who are best. And I started the club. And that now again started giving me another dimension, that apart from just teaching history and CRE and also doing art as a side hustle for myself, I can start mentorships or mentoring and training the youths and the students. So tukachapa na wanafunzi, na by the way, let me tell you, we have a lot of young talented artists in those schools, primary schools and secondary schools, very talented, lakini hawana mtu wa kuwa guide. So after 2 years I was employed by the TSC. This time round, God is good that I got the job near Nairobi. Nilipata shule iko Gatondo South, inaitwa Ituro Boys High School, na it was a prayer answered to me, because sasa nilikaribia Nairobi kwenye naweza pata market ya art kuliko nikiwa Nyeri. So when I got to Ituro, I decided to make my side hustle very, very active. I really started advertising. I had even opened a Facebook page, the one that I even have right now. I started becoming quite active. I even started raising my prices. I used to draw people at around 500 shillings. I now reviewed my prices to 2,000, 3,000, and surprisingly, people were accepting. Nikaanza kujiuliza, kumbe art ni side hustle inaweza kuwa mzuri. So naenda job asubuhi hadi jioni. Jioni nikifika kwa nyumba, from 6 p.m. to around 11 or 12 midnight, I'm painting. Whether it's a painting that is on order or just for fun. Alafu nikichora hivi, I post it on Facebook. So I started gathering a lot of followers because of art. I used to sell a lot. Na ikafika place sasa nikaanza kujiuliza, ama nikaanza kupiga mahesabu. Nikajiuliza, why is it that when I do a 40 minutes lesson ya history, I'm getting so much exhausted, but I can sit for 3 hours or 4 hours continuously painting, and the more I paint, the more fresh I feel. Na hiyo kitu ilianza kunihit na ikafanya nijiulize maswali mingi sana. Alafu I'm sitting down those 3 or 4 hours doing a painting, na painting yenyewe nitaiuza 2,000. Unaona? So how if I did this thing full time? So I was so ambitious, nikasema, hata kama nichore picha moja kila siku, even if it's 20 days a month. See, that is some good money I'm making. So nikaanza kujiuliza maswali sana. So after 3 years, I started thinking that now it's time to resign and do what I love, no matter what people will say. Kumbuka nimetafuta job ya TSC for 2 years, na vile nimeipata, nimefanya 3 years, alafu nafikiria quit. It was quite a tough decision. Haya, time came in 2018. I wrote a resignation letter, and my aim was just to go and start life as an artist. I had decided that hata nikikosa wateja wa kuchorwa, mimi nitakuwa nachora picha za wanyama na zipeleka Thika Road kwa jam niuze huko, as long as I'm doing what I love doing. Now, surprisingly, after quitting, I got a job as an art teacher at Riara group of schools. They were so much impressed by my portfolio. From the time I went to Nyeri, South Teto Girls, I started building up my portfolio. Because of being active so much on social media, I received a lot of attention from media houses in Kenya. And I remember the first one was Media Max. My story was published on People Daily. My first time to appear on paper, on newspaper. And I was also invited by several TV stations like Inoro, Jata, Kameme. And I used to document all those experiences in my portfolio. And of course now I really used to sharpen my skill every now and then. Zile picture best, I put them in my pocket folder. And now I'm a teacher, and I'm an artist who has a good portfolio. So Riara group of schools were willing to give me the job, or they gave me the job. And I told them, I'm a teacher of history and theory, but I am talented in art. Please give me the job to train kids how to draw. They gave me the job, and I've taught there for 2 years until after COVID, when I decided again to resign. This was after realizing during COVID period that I have more potential when I'm doing my own things than when under employment. During COVID time, I was really active in mentoring youths and also doing my hustle as a painter. Again, I decided I want to take up the risk, resign and do this as my full-time job. And this is where I am now. I have painted a lot of people. I have mentored a lot of young artists. I'm still mentoring more, and I'm still painting people.
You said that you were employed, then uka decide to quit job for art. Now, how was the reception kwa familia yako, your parents, your wife? How did they feel?
When I decided to resign, I had a tough period of time. One, convincing my wife. But the moment I convinced her, and she understood my dream, she actually gave me more support than I even expected. I'll tell you that she's actually the one who even wrote the resignation letter for me. She was she's a teacher also, a teacher of sports, and I used to see how vile anaenda job akiwa na sports where namuuliza tu, yani umeenda tu kufunza watoto kurukaruka kwa uwanja. And then nikaanza kufikiria now pia mimi sinaweza kuwa nafunza watoto kuchora chora tu na nilipwe. So I'll say that my wife gave me support yenye hata sikuwa na imagine. For those 2 times I have resigned, she's actually the one that does the resignation letter for me. And she always tells me, I believe in your dream and I believe you'll make it. And I have nothing to regret since that time. And in fact, I feel I'm now living my life. I'm doing what I love doing. And hakuna kitu tamu kama kufanya kitu yenye unapenda kila siku na unalipwa. So that feeling, yani it makes me feel like I'm not even working. It's like I wake up just to create things, to create paintings, and then I get paid by my clients. So about my parents, I made sure that I won't mention to my parents that I'm resigning before I do the actual resigning. Because I knew they'll wonder, now kijana wetu kwani amefikiria namna gani. Yeah. So hiyo nilichezea chini ya maji. I broke the news to them that I have resigned after I have already resigned and secured a job at Riara. They were shocked, but again, after they saw the achievements that I'm making after that, wakaelewa. I also told very few friends of mine that I have decided to resign because reception ya watu ikeni discourage. There's some that I told wakaniambia, Josey, hapana, huwezi acha job yenye ni iko na job security. Uende kwa job yenye hauko sure what will happen. But all in all, I believe one thing, that this is a God-given talent. If it's God who put this talent in me, there is no way he'll let me regret for utilizing the talent. So I told God, wherever you want me to go, whatever you want to do with me, as long as I'm using your talent, guide me. And here I am.
Okay, that's nice. Now, I would also want to ask, ni portrait gani ilikufurahisha sana?
You see this portrait here? This painting is my favorite. And it reminds me of a story, of a time when I was so desperate and I was almost giving up in art. In 2014, after getting overambitious, I started seeing myself as a millionaire in very few days because of painting. Nilikuwa naangalia artworks vile zinauzwa kwa mtandao, several thousands, several hundreds of thousands, even millions. Nikaanza kuona, I can be very rich here now. So I decided to do paintings, nitembeze kwa masupermarkets, wakuwe wananiuzia, mimi naendea tu nini? Pesa. So I decided to approach one supermarket. They told me, go and get us 40 paintings. We start with them. Jose ako hapa, ako newly employed na BOM. Kuchora picha 40 ni gharama. Inahitaji marangi na canvas na nini, a lot of things. So nikakopa pesa mahali. I did a lot of paintings. When I took the paintings to the supermarket, they told me, no, we changed our mind. Tuliona, we are having a lot of artworks in our supermarkets, so we are sorry. So I had to go back home with my paintings. After borrowing a lot of money, investing a lot of time, nilikuwa nachora overnight. Nikitoka job from 6 nalala 3 am ama even 4 am nikizichora. I was so frustrated and nikaona hii hati yenye naambiwaga na watu ati inaweza nipeleka mbali haiwezi. So I took a break of about 6 months. Nikasema, okay, I actually said I will never paint again because of the frustration. After 6 months, nikaanza kujipata nachora tena. There is one decision I made, that I will never paint for money. That was 2014. I will never paint for money. I'll be painting to please myself, to satisfy myself. And after making that decision, that is when I did this painting. I did the painting just to impress myself. I enjoyed putting every detail there. And I said that this painting, I'm not painting it to sell it. I want to just be seeing it. And the painting itself shocked me. The paintings that I did before this one were pathetic. But this one miraculously came out so good when I was a very young artist. So it means a lot to me. So that's why you even see it next to me here.
And who is this?
I just imagined an old man. I love doing details, especially for old people. A village man, an African man who is aging and not well up economically. If you can look at the clothes that he's wearing. Initially I had not put this flag. So alikuwa tu amevaa koti alafu amejiwekelea blanketi. If you look at the kofia, the hat, iko na viraka, some patches, imeraruka. So I was imagining an old man who is quite desperate with age and all that. Later, I came to use this painting as referring to the Mau Mau warriors in Kenya. And that is why niliweka hiyo flag ya Kenya. Amejiwekelea flag. Because there is a lot of outcry, especially Mau Mau warriors in Kenya. Because they've never been compensated. Wengine waliteseka, wakasahaulika na serikali and all that. So when I see this painting, it reminds me of those Mau Mau people. And And despite being forgotten, they are still patriotic. That's why akona hiyo flag. So
Okay.
that is my favorite.
I have been following you online na kuna another portrait ulichora sijui juzi tu. What was it all about?
The old lady, eh?
Yeah.
There's another portrait that I actually sold it a few weeks ago of this old woman. I had titled it Melancholy or Melancholia, which means a deep state of sadness. And I was triggered to do that painting by some tribal clashes that happened early this year in Laikipia. And I don't know whether the motive was politically aligned, I don't know. But I watched news and I saw women, old women crying. Wamama wanalia, they've been displaced from their native land. Na hawa wamama wameachiwa their grandchildren by their children wenye wameenda kuhaso Nairobi. Sasa wamefukuzwa, they are crying, they are desperate. And what pained me so much is that this time politics inaendelea campaigns. Our political leaders are very busy campaigning, but no one is commenting about the clashes that are happening in Laikipia. So I post that painting, especially to our leaders, and ask them what they really feel when they see women cry because of tribal clashes and they are not doing anything to help the situation. It is also one of my favorite paintings, although I sold it.
That portrait was very nice na nilipenda sana. Sijui kama you can draw it again ndio at least tuwe tunaiona ama hata mimi nikuwe na copy.
I'll do a print.
Okay. Now, hapa nyuma yako ninaona His Excellency. Yes. Ulichora lini?
The president's portrait, I did it a few weeks after his inauguration. I call myself a hustler because I really hustle in my job. I was really excited when he won the elections. And let me tell you, I've never felt this hopeful. Our economy was so bad. We used to persuade people to have portraits done, especially during the election periods. Now when the president won, or when Ruto won the elections, I felt a lot of hope. I felt I should appreciate him with a portrait. So I finished it. I'm yet to frame it. And I'm hoping that after I finish it up and frame it, I'll get an opportunity to present it to him. So, Mr. President, if you're watching, please, I have something for you here. I hope you invite me to State House very soon and bring it there.
He will. Now, I can also see Chebukati. Now, my question is, yes. Umechorea akina nani?
Since I started painting, I've tried to capture or to capture attention ya viongozi wengi. I would say that one of my earliest paintings that I did of a famous person was the NAT chairman, Mr. Wilson Sosioni. And that was in 2014. I painted him. I was an amateur at that time, but he liked the portrait. He saw it on social media and even invited me to deliver. From there, I have painted someone like Professor Gogi Wadiongo. I've also painted several other people like the Vice Chancellor of Nairobi University, Professor Kiama. Several media personalities like Mark Masai there, Baby Top ama Modhani wa Kiruba from Kameme FM, and several other media personalities from Media Marks like Man Simo. Then I think there are quite many. Honorable Moses Kuria, Honorable Alice Wahome. Hawa ni wale viongozi wenye najua nimechora, and they have my work in their offices or at their homes. Even the president himself, there's one painting I did, and he has it. This is the second one I've done for him.
Is it a gift or they pay you?
Okay, usually most of these portraits I do them as gifts, to appreciate them. As I told you, I decided that I'll never paint for money. And the moment I decided not to paint for money, money follows me. So I will paint as a gift, and then if the person is kind enough, they'll appreciate my work by giving me a token. Okay, though there are those who may not, but in one way or another, they help me promote my job. I've also done one for Honorable Mutahi Kagwe. I still have it. I hope one day I'll get a chance to present it to him.
Art is not appreciated here in Africa and especially Kenya. Have you ever taken your portrait outside the country?
Yeah, very true that we are really struggling to make people appreciate art here in Kenya or generally in Africa. Like right now, I usually tell people that art is one of the most treasurable gifts that you can give to your loved ones. Mostly huwa nafanya portraits as gifts, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, farewells. Okay, and I'm glad that I've been able to send a lot of portraits outside Kenya. I've got a lot of clients in the US, Norway, Netherlands, UK. There are a lot of clients wenye huwa natumia picha huko, and as I'm telling you, they mostly place their orders so that they give them as surprise gifts to their loved ones. So I'm glad to say that my work has gone even beyond Kenya.
Okay, wow. I appreciate it. I appreciate this time with you. Now, what would you like to tell these people out there struggling with looking for jobs, and you know how scarce they are, and they have something they can do for themselves?
Okay. So, especially saying this to the youths, and those especially who have talents. Doesn't have to be art, any other talent. Maze kipawa ni Mungu hutupea, na hakuna vile Mungu anaweza kupea kipawa alafu uteseke. So if you are there, you are talented, please don't stop at that. Go ahead, be aggressive, let as many people know that you love doing something. Kama ni wachoraji, make sure that every friend, every people around you know that you are an artist and you love drawing. Haya, wakati wetu tulikuwa na shida sana. We couldn't get mentors to mentor us. Right now, you're very lucky you have people. I have told you that I do mentorships and I also train. So are you there? You don't know where to start. You are gifted, but you still want to improve your work. I can help you do that. I also do visit schools for mentorship programs, and I start art clubs in public schools, especially the schools where art is not offered as a subject. Because you'll find that most schools kuna wanafunzi ambao ni very talented. So usikae hapo ukisubiri ati serikali itakusaidia ama kuna mtu atatoka na huko tu akusaidia, and you have a talent. Start where you are with what you have and with what you can.
According to how you have explained your journey, can you tell us that this process has been successful from when you were starting to date?
Yeah, I would say that the progress that I've made is quite impressive even to myself. Where I am right now, even if you look at maybe the quality of work that I'm doing right now, you compare with what I used to do like 5 years ago, I have really tried to improve, and it has been a great success. People have started now appreciating art. I receive orders enough to sustain me and my family, and I would encourage anyone who is afraid of taking risk, go ahead.
Now, the last question. How would you like the government to help you or to help the artist like you?
One, in Kenya or in Africa, wacha tuseme Kenya. In Kenya ukisema jina artist, watu wengi hufikiria mambo ya musicians. Visual artists ama painters or fine artists sana sana hawakujagi kwa minds za watu. Serikali inaweza tusaidia in this way. Haya, one, I appreciate that CBC imekuja, and now in schools art is being focused on. Then there are a lot of youths who need kutrainiwa tu kidogo ama kukuwa mentored. If the government can facilitate us, itutafutie hata kama ni social halls or even materials zenye tunaweza kuwa tunatumia. We offer even free classes to talented artists, young ones. That can be so good. Then the other thing, there are a lot of government offices in Kenya. As a way of marketing work done by the artists, serikali inaweza amua that every government office will have pieces of artworks zenye zimefanywa na artists from Kenya, so that kazi yetu ipate market. The government can also decide to have some galleries whereby our work can be displayed. Let's say every sub-county to have a gallery, or even in Nairobi there watatafutia hata kama ni ofisi moja ama one area where we'll be doing exhibitions. We try and market our work outside, and this way we'll help ourselves, and we'll also help our upcoming generation.
Thank you so much, Jose, for your story. It's been a very nice time together with you. Thank you. Now I know most of us who are talented in different ways, at least tunaweza learn from you, and we know by the end of the day talent pays. Asante sana. Don't forget to subscribe and to stay tuned for our next show.